This NFL Futures and Best Bets edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today using promo code SGPN and then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/dog to enter our bonus contest. 5 winners will receive shirts, hats, and a $50 SGPN gift card. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Ciao.
Ciao, Ryan. Ciao, indeed. We got
Hola.
Hola. What's happening? We got a lot to get to. We're going to talk next team destination, a little free agency / trade props, a little NFL draft props, best bets. It's we got it all, man.
Loaded schedule, as they say.
Jam packed.
We need the monster truck announcer modifier on our voices.
Yeah.
Mega.
Tuesday.
Jam packed. Radio guys love saying jam packed.
Chat needs to be lit. Eddie Better, invite some people. Get the chat fired up.
Eddie Better.
Yeah, all time great name in the chat. Shout out to Eddie Better.
Eddie Better, all of the friends from the Pacific Northwest. Maybe they're tuning in because they have interest in a quarterback. Maybe they're looking at a free agent. Perhaps maybe they're looking at a rookie. I don't know. I feel like the Seahawks are low key a very interesting team this offseason, and we're not here. Maybe my head's in the sand, Sean, which very possible, as we know.
Your head being in the sand?
Yeah, just being unaware of what everyone else is talking about.
Yeah, you not knowing who Jussie Smollett is, or I mean, you've heard of Donald Trump, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
That
well,
guy.
how'd that get on your radar?
Some things bubble up to the top, and I'm able to see them from my vantage point. But yeah, no, I think the Seattle. I would say now that we're fully in it, the combine is happening. People are going to be tweeting out pictures of steak and shrimp cocktail, flexing on you.
In spite of my agent's demands, I will be throwing at the combine. Not scared to throw at the combine. I'm throwing.
What will you be throwing? Some pizza dough in the air?
Well, Ryan, you walked right into it. You're rocking. Now I noticed this shirt while walking down Fremont Street in Las Vegas, a legalized marinara shirt. I jokingly said I was going to get you some.
Woo! It's smoking my weed.
Smoking my gravy. But yes, you got it. Your daughter's got you a legalized marinara shirt. How did they become aware?
Oh, I sent them the
league. Oh, you did. Okay.
I said I don't dabble in Etsy, but I'm going to need this product, and so they found a way. They secured the bag, and yeah, I'm wearing it. I would say it's a fairly high quality T-shirt. Well, if you've ever gotten anything off Etsy,
it's a real shit show.
You never know. So you never know if it's gonna be high quality stuff from China or low quality stuff from China. It's nice. I have gotten a couple kind of double takes. Like, what is this about?
Well, first you're catching double takes with your mustache. Now the legalized you're not normally a political guy, Ryan. So it's interesting for you to see. For you to get behind the legalized marinara. Now, right now, medicinal marinara legal in most states, but you're campaigning for full legalization.
Over the counter.
Okay.
There are some
only prescription grade.
There are some decent over the counter marinaras.
Actually, Rao's sauce is really good. If you're talking jar sauce.
Are you doing a bit?
No, Rao's. Okay. Have you ever had Rao's?
That was the angle you took when you went after Tommy DeVito. for
yeah. Well,
using a jar of Rouse, and then I had to educate you on what Rouse was, and now it seems you've come full circle on.
No, that was just going out of my way to make fun of Tommy.
Oh
DeVito,
yeah, but in that
claims,
moment, we had a moment where we didn't all understand the history of Rouse, and
I didn't know the history. Yeah. I did have the.
So we talked about it, and now that you've come full circle, it's good to have you back.
I always liked Rouse.
Yeah, I would say Rouse is not the first jar I'm reaching for. So yeah, maybe one day I'll put out my.
Probably is how you pronounce it, according to Tomcat.
Yeah, also kind of an overrated establishment.
Wow, shots fired, Ryan.
I mean, I would say most Italian places that eventually turn into a chain aren't that good. So it's not a hot take. Most Italian food is better consumed at home, home cooked. Don't be lazy, and make sure you cook exactly the right amount so you don't have leftovers.
All right.
Shout out to marinara.
Pull, Ryan.
Do you add when you're making a jar of marinara? Do you add to it?
I don't. My wife does that.
You've never made a jar of marinara. I like this answer. This is like the guy who talks about his name being mispronounced by all the radio shows he goes on.
No, I'm saying I don't. I've never reheated jar sauce. I don't know what my wife does to it.
Okay, so you've never used it as a base to make.
No, but I've eaten it and I've liked it.
Got it.
You know what else I like, Ryan? Underdog Fantasy. Not only you get the 100% deposit bonus when you use the promo code SGPN, but between now and the end of the month, we're doing a bonus contest. Just 5 random winners will get a Underdog hat, Underdog shirt, and a $50 SGPN gift card. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/dog. Get in over there. You get the 100% deposit bonus, and this isn't some crazy offshore crazy rollover. You put in $100, you got $100 to play around with. Now I think you have to enter it into at least one contest before you can pull it out, but you're crazy not to fire on these. And we got pick'ems for college basketball, higher lower fantasy. They got golf, they got NHL, NASCAR. They really have it all. NBA, whatever you're into, they get you covered with the fantasy pick'em. You can win up to 100x, or the drafts are super fun as well. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. But again, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
Worth noting, Sean, they have their MLB season stuff up. They also have this category called MLB combos, which appears to be multiple players combined to create a single projection. So shout out to that. And I know I noticed this category because Malcolm's been in my ear chirping about how big this Cricket World Cup or whatever that's coming to the US is, because it's like in Americanized form. It's like 3-hour games, not these like week-long cricket matches. Anyway, they got cricket on Underdog as well. So
hell yeah.
I mean, again, yeah, and just the depth of esports too. If you're really trying to look for something to do late at night. That would be probably the angle I'd be looking into. All right,
Kramer, let's do it. Let's talk next team bets. These are fun.
All right, so and again, shout out to the sheets. If you aren't in them, I see some. We'll call them some spectator animals. Earlier, I saw a wombat. We now have an anonymous. I'm sorry, that's the wrong. We have a large audience also in the college basketball sheet, but we have an anonymous shrew, and I saw the wombat leave earlier, and I see a liger, Sean. Funny enough, in the basketball sheet that I think was just in the NFL future sheet. All right, I got 3 guys on the list for us to talk free agency. I didn't. As I was trying to decide who we should talk about, it was like, all right, well, I'll start with the quarterbacks, and if there's any other names that are compelling, we'll figure out a way to get them in. But there weren't, and so we'll start with Justin Fields, who I probably is the most compelling guy who's going to move or not move this offseason. Also worth noting, look at your options, because a lot of these odds are being put out as if, if they stay on the Bears, it's just the push. Like the bet defaults. But I found odds where it's just irrelevant. So the Bears are one of our.
So this is next team for him to take a snap for.
Exactly. It's not next team assuming he leaves his team. It's next team period. So We'll start with Fields. Like I said, the favorite Atlanta Falcons now down to -125. Sean, this opened at -150, and immediately it seems has been bet the other way, which is interesting. You then have the Raiders +150. This is the team that's shrunk in odds the most since the odds have opened up. So whether that's knowledge or just people putting the dots together, Bears 2-1. This price also has come down since the market opened, Sean, which is somewhat interesting to me. Basically, he stays put. He's on the Bears this year, which I think you think is a mortal lock. He's not on the Bears.
Yeah, 100%. No,
I'm not quite at 100%, but I'm definitely closer to where you are than I was.
If they were gonna keep him, they would have announced it already. Like, why make him do all? Like, why hang him out to dry like this? It makes no sense.
Well, DJ Moore's coming out again talking about, he thinks the best option for the Bears next year is Justin Fields. So Bears 2-1. And I'm kind of,
that's right. Cause he's going to say that until they draft Caleb Williams,
or until they're able to get just a mega shit ton of picks for multiple trade downs and they end up sticking with Justin Fields.
They're not going to do that. Cause if they would have already, if they were going to keep Justin Fields, you would have already made that clear that you're going to keep Justin.
I'm saying it's not their first choice. I'm saying the backup plan is still keeping Justin Fields potentially.
How would they keep Justin Fields?
I don't understand why that's confusing.
Oh, because they've gone out their way to hang him out to dry. If you were going to keep him, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, but what if you don't like? What if you want to do something else and that doesn't work out for whatever reason?
But you have the number 1 pick. What else would you want to do?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not Caleb Williams. Maybe you want to trade down. Maybe part of the reason you want to move on from Fields is I don't know. I don't know the reason. I mean, I don't know why. The logical choice is to reset the clock and take a rookie.
Yeah, I don't even. I think there's a good case as to why you should stick with Justin Fields. I'm just telling you, the Bears aren't going to stick with Justin Fields. They're drafting Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. You can put that in ink.
Okay. I like how strong you are. I'm definitely not so strong.
But I mean,
taking
this scenario you're laying out of them trying to trade down and then not getting the guy they want. Does that feel like 2-1's a good price for that? Like that, him coming back is a pretty crazy scenario in my mind.
No, but I started the first thing I said was the price has come down. People are betting on the Bears. The price opened low. I believe it was +450 Bears. It's now +200 Bears. I agree with you. At this price, I'm certainly not. There's no point in taking a stab because it does feel like it's a long shot. 2-1 suggests there's a 33% chance he's on the Bears, and I would say it's even the optimist would say it's probably lower than that if you're breaking up the percentages. All right, Steelers +325. The more that this version has kind of noodled around in my brain, the more that I don't think it's going to happen. And I also at this price,
I think they should, but I don't think they will. I mean, there's a decent amount of reports saying, they're going to. The debate is between Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. They're not even really considering outside options.
But another one where the odds have shrunk since the lines opened, barely, but I think this was 350. All right, then we kind of drop a tier. So do any of those chalk options, are they any of those interesting to you?
I mean, I don't know, not at the price. I mean, I understand Falcons being the favorite, but I'm with you. I think they might. I don't know. I think Kirk Cousins has a pretty good chance of ending up there.
Which coach is willing to take the vet because the vet might be the best option for the offensive system they run? And specifically, Justin Fields is a specific type of player. Which one of these offensive minds on the Falcons, Raiders, Bears, or Steelers would be like, that makes sense to me? Raiders, like a run the damn ball coach, Antonio Pierce. Like that's the only one that
Antonio Pierce getting along with him. Again, but I'm not intrigued at that price.
No.
I think there's one team that really jumps out at me that we haven't even gotten to yet.
So yeah, next tier, we'll call these like the teams that are in the quarterback market. So that's why they're, I think, in this tier versus some of the higher priced ones. Commanders 14-1, Patriots 16-1, Broncos 20-1, Giants 25-1. is the team that stands out in this group, Sean? To you?
Commanders, Patriots, Broncos,
Giants.
I mean, the Giants should trade for him. Honestly, I don't think they're going to.
Now, why do you think the Giants should trade for him? Are you just being a troll?
No. If I was the Giants,
what about Dable's systems to suggest that they would want a quarterback like Justin Fields? I mean, someone who isn't firing, like pulling the trigger fast, isn't necessarily taking the shots. Like a lot of the same problems that Daniel Jones has had, and the critics of Daniel Jones will point out, are also Justin Fields' flaws.
Yeah, I guess I would just say if Brian Dable really was part of the reason why Josh Allen succeeded, mobile quarterback with a talented arm.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's it. I think that's a pretty big jump. I mean, even
I just think the Giants are in a tough spot because I think they're not going to be willing to give up what you need to get one of those top 3 quarterbacks. I don't see them drafting a JJ McCarthy, and then you're just throwing out another year of starting Tyrod week 1. I don't know.
Two things. Yeah. You're not paying that close attention. I mean, Tyrod's not going to be on the team. I think 100% who
do they start if it's not a rookie?
They've 100% messaged that they are interested in a rookie quarterback. I don't know if it's one at the top of the first round. They have also messaged that they're 100% looking to trade up. And so again, I don't know. They want to secure their guy.
I guess for me, they picked a bad draft to need that quarterback because
a draft filled with top quarterbacks.
No, but but the first 3 teams are drafting quarterbacks.
Maybe
100%.
You think there's 0% chance the Patriots
are drafting a quarterback?
You think they're drafting in the 3rd spot, taking a quarterback?
Maybe they'll pick swap with someone. They're getting.
I think your certainty around what the Patriots will do with their draft pick, and even the Commanders.
I feel pretty good that the Patriots and Commanders are taking quarterbacks.
And you're also certain that the top 3 guys are the top 3 guys because you mentioned the top 3 guys, and more people are coming out with JJ McCarthy in their top 3 takes. And
no. I mean, those things could swing around, but I just don't. The world where the Giants get Jaden Daniels, I think, is tough.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, now there's people with Jaden Daniels as their top guy now. So yeah, I think certainly if someone thinks Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb Williams, like those feel that it's starting to seem like those are going to be the top 2 guys. Like I said all along, Drake May is kind of a little bit of a nightmare. He's got a lot of the tool stuff, and the Giants seem to be interested in him. But yeah, I mean, Anyway, the Giants trading for Justin Fields feels very unlikely to me.
Yeah, no, I don't think they'll do that. But again, I think they should consider it.
Yeah, I just don't think it would be Justin Fields. Like, there's a better chance they're intrigued by Russell Wilson.
Really?
100%.
Because Justin Fields, you can at least talk yourself into getting in the right situation, building around him.
He's a slow processor. Like, there's no way that is the thing that, if anything, the thing that they got working with Josh Allen, if you want to bring it back to Josh Allen, was his processing. And I think when you have the tools and you're able to do that, Justin Fields hasn't shown he can do that. And I think at this point, Justin Fields,
that's why he's available for
he
trade.
needs to go to an offense where it's gonna be a run the damn ball. Like, he's getting 10 carries a game. Like, just, you got a fucking off-road truck, use it. I just don't think that's what Dable wants or Shane. I think they also want to reset the clock. So anyway, Patriots, Commanders, Broncos, Giants, any teams in there jump out to you?
Broncos at 20-1 to me is crazy. I think that's a really good price. And the more you think about it, the more it solves a lot of issues for the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos are going to need a starting quarterback this year. Sean Payton isn't a guy that's just going to completely punt. I think that them, like the Giants, are going to have trouble moving up to get their guy. And also, I think the Broncos kind of in cap hell with the Russell Wilson situation. You trade for Justin Fields, you get him for his last year of his rookie deal. You basically give him this year, say you think you can franchise him after that, and then maybe you end up extending him if he really works out. I think this is like a great Band-Aid with possible upside that you could get done I don't know. I don't know what the Bears think they're going to get capital wise, but I know also Broncos are looking to move on, maybe from a Patrick Surtain, something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos are in 20-1. I'm intrigued for Fields playing for the Broncos.
I think isn't Justin Simmons maybe they're talking about him as a potential cap casualty. So maybe there's some sort of deal to be worked out there. Yeah. Justin Simmons, $14.5 million can be saved. Only $3.5 million dead cap.
And the Bears have the most. I think they're up there with cap space in the league.
Yeah,
so
they have plenty of cap space.
They're looking to probably take on some salary. We're some veteran guys that the Broncos does seem like it's a sea change for Denver, where they're getting rid of some of the older guys they're paying a bunch of money to. First and foremost, Russell Wilson. But I think Sean Payton could talk himself into fixing Justin Fields.
Well, and I think Eberflus too. I mean, you Surtain probably less likely. He's still on the rookie deal. There's no savings to moving on from him, but other than just the roster spot. But maybe you're right. Maybe there are some defensive pieces to move. I'll also take a stab of the Denver Broncos, because I also think Sean Payton, while he definitely knew he didn't want to work with a quarterback like Russ, and based on his profile, I would say that Justin Fields doesn't match what Sean Payton typically looking for. But if the plan for Sean Payton is to draft a rookie and groom him, having a guy like Justin Fields in that like transition role is certainly pretty interesting. And if you're Justin Fields, you get a 1-year tryout,
prove it
in a Sean Payton offense to get your next deal. I think you even take that over most other opportunities. And the Patriots is interesting, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is the Broncos would have to give up stuff, but I don't know.
Like, how much do you think it actually is going to cost? A third round pick
for Justin Fields?
Yeah,
probably a second at least.
I would take the. I guess you'd say over. I would say that it's going to take less than a second round.
Really?
Pick. I think so.
I don't think it gets done for less than a second, because there are teams that need a starting quarterback, and Justin Fields at least is starting caliber.
Yeah, you're probably right. I just don't. You know how the NFL works. I'll be surprised if someone gives up that much. All right. Next up, we got the Saints, Titans, Cardinals, Panthers. Panthers being 40-1 here is pretty funny. That's actually just because of how the trades happened, it would be funny if they got another pick from the Panthers to send over Justin Fields. Who, by the way, Panthers raising their season ticket prices.
Bold move,
right? All right. Any of these teams? Titans obviously stands out to me as that would be interesting. But it's a rookie head coach, so I doubt it.
Yeah, Titans are interesting. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't see them doing it. I think they're just going to see what they keep kicking the tires with Will Levis. 33-1. I don't hate it. I mean, some of these are tough, because it's like, yeah, if I was them, I might consider it, but I don't know if they would.
Well, the Titans front office, they keep taking stabs, right? 3rd round pick Malik Willis, 2nd round pick Will Levis. So low cost acquisition with a mid-round pick for another bullet. Kind of actually does make a 1-year bullet too.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So last bunch, and then I kind of didn't include the 100-1s because they just seem too irrelevant. Browns, Vikings, Jets, Bucks, all 50-1. Colts 66-1. Colts were 100-1. I think some people are betting it because it's like, oh, that'd be a fun backup for AR 15. I think Fields is going somewhere where he's going to start.
Yeah,
I'd imagine.
Vikings at 50-1. Let's walk through that scenario. I mean, what are the Vikings going to do at quarterback?
Well, the odds tell you it's Kirk Cousins coming back.
Oh, really?
Which I
seemed like they were ready to move on.
I don't think you want to trade him in your division, right?
Well, the Bears don't, but
or maybe they do.
Justin Fields would. I mean, ultimate chip on his shoulder. Usually you don't see quarterbacks traded in division, right? So I guess that would be the
unless you're confident he's not.
Yeah, like when the Eagles got rid of Donovan McNabb.
Ooh, good comp here.
The Donovan McNabb was old. I mean, he's never Fields has never really had that ceiling that McNabb had when he was playing really well. I mean, the Browns honestly should consider it, but they're
that's
just
the one
so
I'd say.
they're just so locked into.
Well,
Deshaun
what if they
Watson.
could trade Watson
To who? The Bears?
to anyone? What if there's a market somehow and they're able to surprise? Like, clearly, if you're the owner at this point, you realize, like, hey, we found a guy off the street. Our team's so good it didn't matter. Like, what if you could what if the money doesn't matter and you could make the deal, get him off the squad somehow, and eat some of the cost? Are you then interested in a guy like Justin Fields? Fuck yeah. Would this team not be? I mean, you want to talk about the ultimate destination for just like a football team?
Yeah.
That
Him
would,
and Nick Chubb.
now I don't know if he fits the Stefanski off. Like, I don't know if Stefanski would be interested. To me, it's like this is the perfect guy. So yeah, I would take a stab at 50-1 and just pray some weird shit happens. Pray we have a weird meeting during the combine where we get a news and Florio's reporting news that Deshaun Watson could be on the move.
I just can't imagine
I'm not touching Deshaun Watson.
anyone trading for Deshaun Watson. I mean, even if you could get Deshaun Watson on a,
I've almost forgotten what he did, and maybe it's
would
the
you
NFL.
take Deshaun Watson on a minimum salary ride?
I mean, I'd be intrigued. Like, to me, he's still intriguing, even though I'm fully like, I've seen what I've seen.
So salary, free agent, all that stuff aside, contract, whatever.
Like, if the Giants,
What would
if
you
there was
rather?
news of the Giants?
2024, your starting quarterback.
Oh,
It's a salary. Don't worry about anything else.
Fields or Watson?
Are you happier if it's Justin Fields or Deshaun Watson? As a Giants fan, what are you more excited to see?
Deshaun Watson by a wide margin. Wide margin. Because there still is that potential.
I guess Deshaun Watson, you've seen obviously higher highs, but it's been so long. Whereas like Fields, you could at least talk yourself into, okay, he's slowly progressing, taking a little more time than maybe we would want, but he's gonna keep trending
The
upward.
sample of greatness with Deshaun Watson.
To me, it's always exciting. The idea you haven't seen this guy's ceiling yet, which I don't know if I would agree with Justin Fields, but you can at least sell yourself on that market. I don't think I would have tougher time saying, like, I think we've already seen Justin or Deshaun Watson ceiling.
I think the sample of like elite play
To me, it's just because also it's like he hasn't had a horrible injury like Deshaun Watson, and so to me, who has a career year left in the tank? I think it's Justin Fields over Deshaun Watson, especially when you factor in the running.
Oh, so you're saying like a single year? Yeah, I guess.
No. Well, I guess just as a fan, I'm more talking myself into like, who knows? Maybe this is that breakout year for Justin Fields. I think as a fan, it would be harder to sell me on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, like I don't think Justin Fields ever has 12 wins in him. I know Deshaun Watson probably has 12
But does Deshaun Watson have 12-win season moving forward?
Maybe not. Maybe not. I think if you're asking me which guy I'd rather have, it's Watson. I think the ceiling's higher.
Now,
much higher.
Again, I'm not a salary cap specialist by any means, but I'm looking at Spot Track. Deshaun Watson's dead cap would be $200 million, right? So I don't think they can get rid of him.
All right. So
Again, I don't know how the salary cap works in that sense.
Well, I think so. Trade post June 1st. It looks like there is about 60 million in dead money that would have to be sorted out. But I'm pretty sure they could spread that over years. Like there would be a way to get, how it works. I mean, Howie's the GM of the Eagles, though they would find a way.
But again, Howie would never have signed a $250 million guaranteed contract.
But like, so they by getting rid of him post June 1st, they save $138 million over 4 years, and it costs them roughly 60 in dead cap. So they spread that 60 over those 4 years. You're still coming out 80 million on top, and you have this, guy that you maybe don't feel is that important for you winning off your roster. Just saying it's doable. He's 29. Crazy to think he's 29. It has been a while since he's done anything. All right.
So are we taking a?
I'm taking a stab on Cleveland. I thank you for bringing it up, but by the way, I prefer over the cap. I feel like the way they lay the date out is a little better, easier to look at. But a post June 1st trade, and which that's the stuff they just designated back then. I think certainly that combined with a Watson restructure. Now that's when we learn if he's really a sociopath and wants to play football or not. Like if something gets broken down because Watson's unwilling to restructure something about the deal to make it easier.
I'll just take the small sprinkle in the Broncos, but none of these other chalky destinations seem like it makes a ton of sense. Honestly, I think they're
Raiders.
Yeah. I don't know, but the price is so low. Even getting to the Raiders, it makes sense. I could see him. I could see Antonio Pierce talking himself into him, but not at like such a favorite. I don't know. I don't
think the Falcons want him. Like that's not the kind of offense they're going to run. I think I do think the Bears are a greater than 0% chance, but not at 2-1. And I think the Steelers is like fan fiction. And so I'm with you, Cleveland and Denver. All right.
I'm just doing Denver.
Good transition, Sean, because Denver's current quarterback, another guy who, Sean, he did have a massive contract that was going to be really hard for them to get out of it. They even went as far to try to do illegal things according to the collective bargaining agreement to save some money in this deal. Russ, kudos to him for holding it together under fire. But he's still going to get all his money, but he's not going to be on the team next year. So this is maybe the path, like a Watson like path here. What team will Russell Wilson play for next year? I don't know if you heard the interview. He wants to win 2 more Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Which again, it was the first thing we really found attractive about Russ, Sean, when we saw him at that podium after losing to the Falcons, saying we're going to be back, we're going to be better than ever next year, and he was kind of right. All right, so where will Russ land? First up, Raiders plus 150. Now, if you put this in comparison to the Justin Fields price, I'm like, well, get Justin Fields out of the fucking way. This to me makes sense for Antonio Pierce. This makes sense for the type of team he's trying to lead. And I would imagine a guy like Antonio Pierce would not have any trepidation about, the track record of Russ and his interesting personalities. And so this one this chalk makes sense. And I think at plus 150, better price than Justin Fields, because your offense kind of has some pieces already that maybe this could all work together. Also in that top tier, the Steelers are at 2-1. Any thoughts on either of the two favorites here?
I mean, just imagine Tomlin and Russell Wilson on the same team.
That's not possible for me.
Really?
To me, the Raiders, I totally could talk myself into.
Antonio Pierce working with him, I could see that.
Just like they have a lot of vets, they have the coaching staff is a lot of guys with good experience.
Well, and
Russ now has a chip on his shoulder. His wife would be fine in Vegas. Like she wouldn't be pissed off about that city.
This is interesting. This is a very interesting market, because when do you think we find out what team Russell Wilson's going to sign for?
I have no idea,
because I could see him there not being much of a market. But again, he's going to be playing for a vet minimum. So you're essentially getting a free Russell Wilson, which a lot of these teams could probably talk themselves into, even teams that are drafting quarterbacks. Okay, maybe get the vet in here first.
It's a teammate thing. Clearly he's got some weird vibes.
Yeah.
He's created some situations where not everyone's speaking highly about him. And that's the issue. To me, that would be the thing, a team building thing.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting an elite talent, are you?
Russell Wilson? No, it doesn't appear so. But if you're like some of these longer shot teams, could you talk yourself into like, hey, or maybe they just sign him as a backup. He doesn't understand that dynamic, but and you're getting him essentially for free.
And just so we're on the same page, Russ actually has more dead money left on his deal than Deshaun Watson.
Really?
Yeah. So
okay, so maybe it is easier, but I think wasn't Deshaun Watson the whole point of his deal that it was fully guaranteed, and that's why they were so pissed about it.
But that creates less dead money over time because it's like bigger signing bonus. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think actually that helps the dead money portion of it. Whereas Russ, like if they cut Russ pre-June 1st this year, $85 million dead cap hit this year. Now they'll designate it post June 1st, That's still a $35 million dead cap hit
also,
just this year.
I could see, if there is a preseason injury, training camp injury, one of these teams then deciding to sign.
I think he's 100% going to be on a team that gives him a path to start. Like I think Russ being the free agent or whatever, having the freedom. Like
it's true. He's not going to sign.
Yeah.
He's not going to sign somewhere where it's clear he's the backup.
You have to handicap that more than anything, and I think that's what really makes the Raiders stand out to me more than anything. Because we've already talked about it. The Steelers don't seem interested in making a move like this.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Falcons 9-1 with the Patriots, and then the Panthers, Bears, and Vikings all 12-1. Any of these teams make sense to you? Vikings. The Vikings were the team that kind of stood out to me as like, all right, maybe, but why wouldn't you take this opportunity maybe to draft a guy?
But yeah, how do you sell that to your fan base? We're getting rid of Kirk Cousins or bringing in Russell Wilson.
Which fan base are maybe the Panthers? It goes there for the vet minimum. And it figures he played college at NC State. That's the.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They have so much invested in Bryce Young. You got it.
Maybe he's a mentor. Young. He's a great mentor for Bryce Young.
I don't see him being a great mentor.
Falcons, Patriots, not interesting.
Man, this is a tough one. Not a 9-1. Patriots, maybe. Yeah, I could see Robert Kraft talking himself into.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Moving product.
I could see Russell Wilson. Yeah, and Robert Kraft's kind of gone out of his way not to spend money. I'll do a small sprinkle on the Pats at 9-1. That kind of actually makes sense. They've been pretty tight money wise.
They did, yeah. I think they met that one time. They all went to Epstein Island. Russ, Sierra, Robert Kraft.
Definitely not Eddie Griffin. Ryan, yeah. So
you think the pay? Okay,
I think that's
interesting to me.
At 9-1, I'm intrigued because they draft a quarterback and then they bring in Russ Wilson. They're like, hey, we'll let you compete for the starting spot. We're in no rush here.
Yeah.
And they don't spend a ton of money on him.
Boy, the Panthers would be fun. The NC State connection is a hilarious one. But I mark me next to the Raiders, Sean, because I think that might be the only team I end up landing on.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that it's just that the price at 150 is not interesting to me. I also think some of these longer shots are kind of intriguing.
Colts, Titans, Commanders.
Now, if you're the Titans, why would you not sign Russell Wilson?
Locker room,
right?
Your Callahan auto parts. Your dad's in there. He's an offensive line guy. He doesn't want to deal with this fucking prima donna. Yeah, I don't know. I would say Colts hard no, Commanders hard no. You think the command? I mean, I can't imagine there's much interest there, especially when you can reset the clock. You're a new franchise. You think this new ownership group wants Russ as their spokesman?
No, but again, the fact that he's free,
but he wouldn't go there.
Yeah, that's part of it. I don't think he would, but the Titans at 25-1.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he does seem like a guy who would want to stay in the conference and get some revenge. That's why the Raiders are probably like the opportunity to beat Sean Payton would be very appealing. That's why I do think
that's why the Raiders is a great option.
Yeah, but at plus 150, I'm not touching it. But
so you're going to mark down the Titans?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That would be Will Levis and Russell Wilson doing any sort of content together would be very electric.
I think because he's free and you don't have to give up anything for him. Whereas the Justin Fields one, you're trading more draft capital, which I don't think Tennessee is looking. They're in rebuilding mode, so they want to hang on to draft capital. Them bringing in Russell Wilson and Wilson being like, yeah, I can beat out Will Levis for the starting job, and they're like, yeah, sure, give it a shot. I can see that.
He'll definitely beat out Will Levis. I would think. If you can't beat Will Levis, you probably.
But I think Brian, to your point, Ryan, old school football guy, like, hey, we're all about competition here at the Tennessee Titans. Everyone's got to fight for their spot.
That's not where Russ is going. I'm just saying Russ isn't going to a program like that. I think Russ is going to go to a program where he sees it an easier path. And I even think Will Levis as like a second rounder. I do think they're interested in him. Like I don't know if the Titans are dying to get a quarterback this offseason.
Yeah, it's 25-1. I'll take a small sprinkle.
Cardinals, Saints, Giants, all 33-1. Rams 40-1.
Saints are another team.
Mark me down for the Saints and the Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta play the Giants just for comedy effect.
I told you they would be bringing in someone via free agency,
yes,
and the draft.
I mean, 33-1 for Russell Wilson to go to the Giants is just an amazing.
Imagine,
value.
All right, so Jaden Daniels, Russell Wilson, and Daniel Jones walk into a bar.
No, Adunze and Russell Wilson.
Interesting. You want them to take a Dunze?
No, I don't care what they do. They're not.
Oh.
They're not really on my radar.
Got it.
But yeah, Giants 33-1 is just amazing.
Well,
Because Russell Wilson, the bright lights, Sierra, he's gonna be all over Mr. New York.
now I'm pretty. I'd love to be a fly on the wall to hear Daboll and Russ talk to each other, but this is more of just a who knows. They're going to be signing a quarterback in the offseason.
And he's free. I mean
Yeah.
that's why this market is pretty interesting to me, because he's free. You don't have to give up any draft capital. He's signing for $1 million.
And the Saints, the reason here is they're always strapped for cash.
Yeah. The only counter is to what we were talking about earlier, is that
Competition.
well, I think he would see that kind of well, it's not like they love Carr, but that Carr's kind of locked in, and his chances for getting playing time.
Concur. I think.
I mean, his path to starting in New York is way easier.
Concur. Well, it depends who they draft.
Do you concur, Ryan?
Concur. Any interest in the Rams?
No, again, because he wouldn't be interested.
Browns, Cowboys, Lions, Jets, Bucks, all 50-1. Assuming the Bakers, the Fighting Mayfields are happening in Tampa, no one is interesting here.
I don't know, but they had Kyle Trask competing with Baker last year. Is it crazy to have Russ compete with him? I guess again, it comes back to, I think Russ, to your point, Ryan, Russ is going to go where he thinks he has the easiest path to play. And to me, looking at the board right now, that's New England, Tennessee, and Giants.
Yeah, turn off the Saints for me. I'm just going to go Raiders and Giants. And the Giants is only because that the Giants are signing a quarterback in free agency. So I'm just going to bet on everyone.
I think he's going to go where he thinks he can play. And those, I think Russell thinks he's going to have the best spot, that are also kind of interesting.
All right, Kirk Cousins.
Do we want to do Kirk Cousins, Ryan? Do we have time?
Yeah, we can skip Kirk. We can save him for next time.
Okay. Let's get a draft prop in.
Let's do it. All right, so I got 3 in the queue. Would you like? And worth noting, Sean did proclaim that Caleb Williams will get drafted to the Bears.
Yes,
it's 9-1, or it's a -900. So $9 to win $1. Commanders are 3-1. Patriots 17-1. Is this market even worth dabbling in with the idea of a trade down?
No, I mean, not at the price. So I'm not betting it, because I'm not going to lay -900. But the other sides of Commanders, Patriots,
so I'm gonna
the prices.
Yeah, let me rattle off. So Falcons, Raiders, Broncos, Titans, Steelers, Steelers. Those are the realistic. And then you have Bucks, Seahawks, Giants, Vikings. Anyone there that you think could trade up? Because I think the Commanders trade up is real. The Kingsbury connection is real. The new franchise, new ownership group wants to make a splash. This is the splashy pick this year. Trading up no matter the cost. The Commanders probably have the assets. They picked up some extra assets with the defensive lineman trades last year, so they probably could get this done without a ton of future equity being shipped over. And so I understand why it's 3-1. Everyone else, the Patriots don't strike me as the trade up crowd. I wonder what the Falcons could do with a new coach. Falcons need someone. We've assumed this entire time it's going to be someone in free agency, but what if this is like the team that decides to mortgage their, because it only takes that they regret not going after Lamar. Say fuck it, we'll ship it.
Oh, I'm sure the Atlanta Falcons are interested. I just don't think the Bears are going to trade the number 1 pick.
Okay. Yeah, I would. I would
and
certainly.
Your scenario of the Commanders giving up a ton.
I would bet the Commanders right now
at 3-1.
Yeah.
I don't like that price.
I think everything about them trading up to get Caleb Williams, if they feel that's the guy, and they hired Cliff Kingsbury, so it suggests to me they at least maybe have an idea it's the guy.
I think it's possible, but I would price that at like 10-1.
Okay. Yeah,
because I mean, just look, Chicago being -900. The only other option to me is the Commanders. So I don't think you're getting great odds on Commanders at 3-1.
But you're also assuming he's the top guy for the Bears.
For the Bears, yeah.
And there's already enough turbulence in the who everyone likes the most that I wonder what the NFL heads think. Because if Caleb Williams is only an inch taller than Bryce Young. Like we jokingly are taking him off the board, but so will some NFL GMs.
There could be some wild shit happening between now and the draft. I'm not ruling that out. I'm just saying right now it's either Bears or Commanders, and I don't think the chances the Bears get or the Commanders get it done is close to 3-1. I would have this at 10-1. Okay. And then I'm intrigued.
I'll take the Commanders at that price. When it's -500, it will feel like a delicious 8-point dog on a Sunday. I did. All right, let's get over to a more interesting guy because I think Jaden Daniels, will end up being the guy in the draft that kind of settles everything else. We've certainly seen some quarterback gurus say that he could have the highest ceiling. We've also heard some guys talk about how his pressure to sack rate is shit, and that's going to project him to not be very good at the next level. A lot of Mickey Mouse stats down there in college, not projectable to the next level. I disagree with that. Looking at the odds, Commanders and Patriots co-favorites at +150. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is interesting. I do think it's a toss up, because I think the Patriots are going to take whoever's left from Drake May, maybe Caleb Williams, most likely not Jaden Daniels. I do think right now, at least, it does seem like those are the top 3 locked in, and then the Patriots will take whoever's left. I think the Patriots will be pretty excited to have Jaden Daniels fall in their lap at +150.
What? Just out of curiosity, what makes you so sure about the Patriots liking Jaden Daniels?
I think. Well, I guess I don't. I
haven't heard any. I've not heard much about what the Patriots are going to do.
I think the Patriots. I would be pretty surprised if they don't go quarterback. So I think they're going to take their best quarterback available, and I'm guessing the best quarterback available for them would either be Drake May or Jaden Daniels, depending on what the Commanders do.
Okay. Yeah, so you like this price at +150 better than, like, say the Russ to the Raiders price?
I don't even know if I'd like to. Yeah, I guess I would.
But you're interested in playing this favorite?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to do the math in my head. I think you almost play the Commanders and the Patriots both. Now then you wouldn't. And yeah, you would probably be, because they're both +150. I don't know, because I think the Commanders drafting him number 2 is pretty realistic as well.
Yeah. Interesting nugget about the.
I don't know if the Pats at +150 is, to me, has any value, honestly.
Pat's new offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt, has not ever really operated a offense with a mobile quarterback too well. He came from the Browns, for what it's worth. Always felt like they were tripping over their mobile quarterbacks. I wonder if that's who they're interested in, to be honest with you. I don't know if Jaden Daniels just doesn't strike me as a Patriots quarterback. Perhaps I'm just doing that thing, but
yeah. So you think Patriots are on the clock? They don't take Jaden Daniels if he's available.
There's so much smoke that they're going to trade down, dude. I think
smoke for a reason, Ryan.
Well, that they're going to trade down the Patriots, like out of the pick, not take the top quarterback there.
No, I'm saying I would be surprised if they're at number 3 and Jaden Daniels is available and they don't take Jaden Daniels.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would maybe take the other side of that. I think there's a chance that they like JJ McCarthy more and we get our dream.
It's possible. I mean, again, that's why I don't think the price is that interesting.
All right. So next up, Falcons plus 750. Certainly another team that needs a quarterback. Raiders, Giants, both 10-1, Vikings 12-1. Any of these teams interesting in the Jaden Daniels? I mean, we discussed this market a couple weeks back on VSiN, Sean, and Jaden Daniels to go to the Giants, I believe was like somewhere in the 16 to 20-1 range. He's now down to 10-1 for the Giants. I do think the Giants like him. Raiders 10-1. I don't know why. I just don't feel like the Raiders are going to draft a quarterback. I feel like they're going to sign a quarterback. Vikings 12-1, Falcons 750. The situation makes sense. Don't know if the Vikings are going to do the trade up unless it's a Justin Jefferson rumored deal, like we're hearing, which would be a sweet irony. Get the trade the LSU receiver for the LSU quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. I would still kind of look at the Giants, but the price is coming down to that.
No,
point.
I know. Now at 10-1, it's not quite as appealing. The extra plus 600 kind of did. Make
Was it 16-1 when we talked about it? Yeah. I mean, once again, just jamming value in the pocket, Sean. These draft props, it's like they don't think about it before they hang them. You can still put Giants for me, even though we've lost little value. That probably at this point, that's probably the dream. Broncos 16-1 kind of fits the same element as before. Does Peyton go rookie? Does Peyton go?
But he would just have to give up so much.
Do they have? I believe they're still missing picks in the future. Yeah. So yeah, got to scratch them off. Titans 18-1.
No, again,
they have enough.
You would just have to give up so much draft capital to get up there.
And then the Bears obviously are interesting. Because what if the Bears do trade down? But what if the Bears like Jaden Daniels the most, and they trade down a pick or two, still get their guy? It's 22-1.
Yeah, that at least is intriguing. I mean, I still think they're going to take Caleb Williams, but at 22-1, if they do swap picks with the Commanders,
what if the Commanders give you a metric fuck ton to move up one pick? You still like Jaden Daniels? He was your top guy anyway. And you're able to get the payload and get your guy. I'll co-sign the Bears with you.
Yeah,
because I'm not so sure. Like I kind of want to start. Here's my goal between now and the draft: buy positions that involve Caleb Williams not going number one. Because if he comes out 1 inch taller than Bryce Young, Sean, it's gonna happen.
No, I agree. We're still early enough that something could crazy happen, but Yeah, at 22-1, small sprinkle on the Bears.
Half the battle, they're already up there.
But the between the Commanders and the Patriots, I think it's probably a coin toss between them, and you're not getting a great price on either. So I would just hold out on any of the chalk stuff for now.
Saints also 22-1, probably a draft capital situation, right? They don't have. Do they have enough to get all the way up here? They're always strapped for cash, so getting a rookie quarterback would actually be good. But they have Carr. See, this seems like a mispriced one here. I'm out on the Saints. Any notes on the Saints?
Me?
No.
No.
Steelers?
No.
30-1.
Like all these, you have to give up so much. I don't see them doing.
Seahawks 35-1. Cardinals, Jets.
They're so
Rams,
far back.
40. Well, Cardinals are not. And the Cardinals have multiple first round picks.
Well, they just tweeted out franchise quarterback with
it wasn't Jaden Daniels.
No.
Okay.
But Kyler best ball stacks with Marvin Harrison Jr. Ryan, you should be doing that. I know you
already have. I think the first one we did, I have a Kyler team already. I told you I'm going to be in on Kyler this year. He might be my number one quarterback.
So to me, just small sprinkle on the Bears.
Yeah, and then Jets, Rams 40-1 and Bucks 50-1. I'm not really interested in any of that stuff either.
No, it's just you have to give up so much to get it in. But yeah,
he's one of those guys who will get penetration.
That's what it takes sometimes, Sean.
All right, Ryan, time for our best bets for today. Well, today if you're listening to it, February 28th, aka tomorrow if you're watching live here on YouTube. What do you got, Ryan?
Someone might be under the influence and be very confused. Like, are we in the time machine? It is Wednesday. These are the things I have that I've bet on. I'm campaigning to change the segment name to My Bets instead of best bets.
Okay, that's fair.
Furiously pull up my my betting slip here. All right. So not a lot on the calendar for tomorrow, and I didn't see any college basketball lines up yet, so I didn't want to hop over there. I'm sure Sean's got you covered with some college basketball
using the Ken Palm projections.
So we're gonna head over across the pond because we have a couple different. Well, first of all, if you're a local kid and you want to bet on CONCACAF Champions Cup, which I wouldn't recommend, FC Cincinnati and Nashville Sporting Club are playing. Sean, guess what? Not interested in either one of those because we got some proper European soccer. You might have to scroll down depending on what book you're on. Find the English section. We're going to the FA Cup, Sean. First up, you like big dogs? I got a big dog for you. We're going Leeds United plus 520.
Wow.
To win outright. You're probably wondering, why are we fading Chelsea? Well, this is a Malcolm quote. They're shite. And they're also coming off an extra time game in the League Cup final on Sunday. And so maybe there wasn't Gatorade dumped, but there certainly was a lot of emotion and passion. So plus 520, I'm seeing is the current price. I know this was 5-1 when I bet it. So once again, bad CLV on my part. Didn't get the best of the number. Sean, what do you got first?
Gophers plus 11 at Illinois.
Holy shit, that's a big number.
I'm looking at the projected Ken Palm line. We'll see where it lands, but Minnesota coming off a loss. They got worked. They're 8-1 against the spread after a loss. They're amazing in general against the spread. They got worked at Nebraska. Illinois maybe looking ahead to Wisconsin. So Gophers catching a ton of points. I also like South Carolina as a small dog at Texas A&M. The market continues to doubt the South Carolina team. I love fading Texas A&M as a favorite. Gamecocks 7-2 ATS on the road. Texas A&M 4-9 ATS at home. Texas A&M only 69.3% from the line. And my final play, give me the Providence Friars catching 9 at Marquette. Providence also very good ATS on the road. I understand Marquette is dominant at home, but Providence defense pretty good. I think they can at least hang around, keep this game. So Providence plus 9, Gamecocks plus 2, and Gophers plus 11. Triple dogs for a Wednesday.
All right. You gave out all three here. So
I'm trying to move it along, Ryan.
Oh, gee, all right.
Well, I mean, running super late.
Got it. Southampton plus a half, first half against Liverpool. Why, you ask? Well, they were the other team in that League Cup final. They're also going to be tired. So we're taking Southampton in the first half. They'll keep it close.
So you just got 2 plays?
2 plays.
2 plays.
2 plays. Right.
There you go.
Two bets in my pocket. My bets. Ryan doesn't, not your bets.
Ryan doesn't like calling them best bets.
They might not be your best bets. They're my best bets.
Okay. My bets. There you go. And thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Winning.
Kramer. Let it ride.